Hi, it's me again. It's Barbara. Today we're going to make garden stones. How? I will show you how. They're kind of fun. If you like to paint, you can paint whatever you want on them. But to get started, we're going to put that aside. This is not too hard of a project. I'm going to put a shirt over my apron so I don't get it dirty. It's a messy project. And one thing I didn't get was a towel. But that's okay. First of all, I gave you a list of supplies. You're going to need wax paper. Need a spoon to stir with. An old container. Make sure it's old, or it might get dyed with the cement. And water, and you need this is, oh my goodness, grout. It's grout. Okay, so what you're gonna need, and you also need a flat surface. It could be a pan, it could be whatever, so long as it's transportable so that you can put it either outside or into another room to dry. But I'm going to show you how it's done. Okay? So, I tried to be as organized as I could. You're not going to need the flat surface until last, so we'll leave that there. And then we'll do this. And this stuff is kind of dusty, so try to be easy on it. It's kind of like pancake mix. A cup will make like 6 pancakes. So I'm thinking this will make, I'm going to use a cup. So that's 1/4 of a cup. 2, 3, whoops, 4. Okay, so you got that in there. All you need is water. You stir it to its consistency, a little bit thicker than pancake mix, so where it's not running. I'll show you here in a minute how it's done. You just stir it up, and be kind of dusty. You might want to use gloves or a face mask. That would help. Looks like I put too much water in there, so it looks like I'm going to be needing more mix. Uh-oh. Let's try this. Remember, it is messy, so you want to put something under you so that it doesn't get all over everything. Put an old shirt over your clothes because it might stain. I'll just stir it in there. I actually have a 1.5 cups in there, so it looks like it might work. Because you don't want it to be runny. You just want it to be like peanut butter, kind of a little bit looser than peanut butter. That tells you anything. Just keep stirring it. It gets thicker. Remember, use an old container. An old coffee can works really good. And if you're a kid, you better ask your mom, because if not, then, oh my goodness, she'll be mad at you. So, I'm sure you can find something old that you can ruin, because that's what this will do. It'll ruin whatever you use on it. But you stir it in. The cup can always be rinsed out, but the bowl, I think it's going to stain. So, just keep stirring. It's still, I made it too thick. So, let me get the lumps out. It's really easy. One bag costs you like maybe $5. You get it at your local hardware store. And then it's actually made for bathrooms, but it was a mistake. I taught myself because my husband had some leftover, and I don't like waste. So I thought, well, let me have it and see what I could do with it. So I thought, well, I can make them into pancakes. And then I made them into that, and then I thought, well, now I can paint them. So I came up with the garden stones. So it works really good. A little bit more thicker than that. So, like, just be careful with the water. Don't do what I did. I guess it would be better to add a little bit at a time. If not, then you're going to have more garden stones that you wanted. But maybe you have an area where you just want to fill it up with your artwork. I think that's kind of cool. I liked them. Really fun to make. See? Kind of like that's what you need. And it's going to take like 24 hours to dry. You'll know it's dry because the middle won't be dark gray. It'll turn all light gray. So, be prepared to wait for a little while. It's okay. Anticipation. We'll make it together. I think maybe it'll cost you maybe $10, and who knows how many stones you can make. It's up to you. Or you could buy a little bag. The one I used is a big bag, so it's just left over of what he had. I'll have the name on it in the show notes. Okay, so this is what you need your flat surface for, because you're going to be moving it around. Yeah, because you're going to need your work for surface for something else maybe. Just get a couple of pieces of wax paper. One. Might as well double it. Try not to move it. Make sure that it could be a flat pan. So long as it's covered, it's not going to get ruined. But you don't put it on there without using wax paper, because then I think you'll have a mess. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have quite a bit. We'll start with whatever I can make. Out of a cup and a quarter of the mix. Yeah. So we're just going to pour it on there. Just pour it on there. It'll spread out. You could bounce it. I don't know how big you want them. So it's entirely up to you. Usually put about two. That's kind of small. And then if you let it dry for a little while, you can make square ones, I guess. It's up to you. You have to use this is the idea. You use your imagination as to what you're going to do with them. You can give them to friends for their gardens. So they're a nice little gift. And like I said, if it's Christmas on a shoestring budget, this is the project for you. Because they can always use it. So it looks like it's going to make 3. So a cup and a quarter will make 3. See, so it's kind of thick. Just like a glob. Just keep bouncing it. Let it spread out like a cookie. Yeah, just keep letting it spread out. And then it'll spread out a little bit on its own. Each time you put it on the ground, it spreads out just a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to have to wait till tomorrow to paint these.